Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Are you guys ready for another Jackoween video? As requested, I'm sharing a detailed tutorial on how to block your brows. If you're randomly watching this video, you might be wondering, why on earth would anyone want to conceal their brows? Is this some new fashion trend or something? And no, not exactly. There are many reasons why someone would want to block their brows, and it's usually for creating makeup looks that require a different brow shape or color than your natural brows. So you've seen me block my brows for looks like this, and this one, and then this one over here. And this is honestly the best way to change your brow look without actually shaving off your brows. I block my brows in a lot of my costume looks, so that's why I wanted to go in depth on how to do this. So whether you're looking to recreate Halloween costume looks or you're trying to block your brows for drag makeup, I hope this video helps you. Here's what you'll need. A glue stick. I use Elmer's washable glue stick. You can use any glue stick, but I find using the purple one is easy because it becomes clear when it's dry, but honestly, you can use any non-toxic washable glue. An orange liquid lipstick, which I know sounds weird, but just trust me on this one. And if you don't have an orange liquid lipstick, you can substitute this with an orange eyeshadow. So just work with the products you already have. You'll also need a full coverage concealer. This Gotcha Cover concealer from NYX has been my favorite to use for all of my brow blocking needs. You'll also need a powder foundation. A lot of people use translucent powders, but you get better coverage with a powder foundation. So highly recommend getting one, and this is from Physicians Formula. You'll need a sponge, a concealer brush, and of course a spoolie. So that's everything you'll need, so let's begin. You want to start off by taking your glue stick and running that through your brows. You can simply swipe it across your brows like this, but I prefer to just be super messy with it and go in like circular motions and everything. You want the glue to get in between every nook and cranny of your brow hair. That way we have full control of your hairs. So now take your spoolie and brush your brows straight up. I know that looks crazy, we got like spiky brows going on, but this is the best way to make our brows as flat as possible. That's why we brush them straight up instead of to the side, because when we brush the hair to the side, the hairs all lay on top of one another and it creates this little layer of hair. But we want our brows flat like a pancake, and we can achieve that by brushing the hairs straight up like this. So now I'm going to let that first layer of glue dry and begin working on my next brow and do the exact same thing. Now just a heads up, there's going to be some glue that gets on your forehead from brushing all the glue up, and you can either use the spoolie or your fingers to just smooth that down. It's really not a big deal to have glue outside of your brows because everything will be covered up in the end. We're now moving on to the second layer of glue. We're still trying to shape our brows, and that first layer may have missed some hairs, so I'm going to drag the glue stick straight up like this and then take my spoolie again to brush any stray hairs up. That way everything is glued down and laying flat. Now we're going to wait and allow this to dry completely before we move on to our next layer. Layer number 3, all the hair should be laying flat and ready to go. So now you just want to drag your glue stick across your brows, then allow it to dry again. We're just building this smooth shield we've created on our brows, and the smoother we can make this area, the more convincing our brow blocking will be. I'm going to do a total of 4 layers of glue, so here we are adding our final layer of glue. Just remember to make sure that everything is dry before moving on to each step of this process. The more patience you have with this, the better the end result will look. So once our 4th layer of glue is dry, we can move on to the next step, which is color correcting with our orange liquid lipstick. If we were just to apply concealer over this, it would conceal pretty well, but you'd still see some of that darkness peeking through. If you have dark under eye circles, it's a similar concept because people with dark under eyes color correct the darkness and blue tones under their eyes with an orange color correcting concealer before going over it with their regular concealer. So that's what we're doing with our brows. We're color correcting the dark tones in our brows, so that way when we apply our concealer on top, everything is neutralized. And if you have blonde eyebrow hair, you don't necessarily have to do this. This I would just recommend with people with really dark eyebrows like myself. So again, have patience with this step because you want to allow the liquid lipstick to dry fully before we move on to the next step. Okay, concealer time. You want to use a concealer brush for this part to paint on the concealer right on top of the orange. You can see from this alone we already have pretty great coverage on our brows, but just you wait, it's gonna get better. And once I have the concealer on my brows, I like to use my concealer brush to just kind of feather out the edges so everything kind of blends seamlessly together. You can wait a few minutes to allow the concealer to set into the skin before moving on to the next step, which is taking our damp beauty blender and our powder foundation. This was the best way of applying powder I found because you'll get full coverage this way. So load up the sponge with powder and just press the powder into the skin like this. It takes away the shine from the concealer and just adds that extra coverage to make our brows completely disappear. I feel like I look like an alien now, but that is how you block your brows. So now you can go over everything with your liquid foundation so that way everything matches your skin or whatever look you're trying to go for. This is the base, so what you do from here is all up to you. If you want to see any of these looks I did where I block my brows, you can click the link in the cards to find these tutorials and more. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions and if I can help you in any way. I can't wait to see all the creative looks you guys come up with. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another Jackoween video.